one thing. So your class setup, this is the one. I'll make a full video on this, but this is one I use with Fastmax. But a great suggestion that I would make, guys, is instead of Fastmax, you can run Laser Sight to run 4 attachments. And Laser Sight actually will help your aim some. I would recommend it if you're having trouble, even though it looks kind of weird. And then run Elo Sight. That is what I would recommend for like class setup. But make sure you at least have double quick draw in stock. That's what all the pros and everyone basically uses on the Maddox at least. And then you can add Fastmax or Laser Sight if you want. And what I do is in League play, I only have one perk on, which is Dexterity. That's all I run, is just one perk. But yeah, I'll go ahead and shoot a couple of bots for you. And let's get on how to control the recoil and learning it. Alright. So what you guys want to do is just go to a wall or something like that, or any surface where you can just see the bullets. I'm kind of being right. As you see right here too, I'm using the Scuff Impact, no mods, or anything like that. Just beaming, with the Scuff Impact. And also, if you guys want to see me do a lot of handguns too, just check out my streams. Every stream I do a handgun. I'm gonna start doing more handgun videos too. Yeah, let's get right to it. So what you want to do, guys, is go to a wall like this and just shoot and don't touch the right stick. And it probably helps you get that rod, so it's all good. Alright. My God, leave me alone. Weirdo. Hold up. Alright, let's do it right here. And with this, you can really see the recoil pattern of the Maddox. So as you see, it goes up and then it just shakes left and right a lot. So you can't really do too much about the horizontal recoil. Basically, all I do, guys, is you want to do the opposite of that. So basically, just hold down. That's all you really have to do. So what you want to do is you want to just hold the left stick down. And people say, do I do it with the tip and stuff? I just put like my whole finger on it, really. And that's how I control the recoil. But you just want to hold down a lot, and then once you hold it down, you just want to keep your hand steady. And when you keep your hand steady after you hold it down, that will help control the horizontal recoil. But you want to pull it down first before you keep it steady. So I'll go ahead and show you that in action. See, after I pull it down, I just keep it steady, and it literally becomes laser. See, no mods or anything. I mean, just look at the bullet trail. So what I'm doing is, I just pull it down like that, and then I just keep it steady. And just experiment with holding it down at different points, and you'll see, you'll see the recoil control. So just experiment holding it down more and holding it down less, and you'll see exactly how hard to hold it, where you can get where there's basically no recoil. And when you're on a monitor, you can see a little bit of recoil, but when you're watching a video, guys, it's hard to see all the recoil. But I do have, that's one misconception. People think I really have no recoil, and even pros do the same too. Like, we actually do have recoil. It's just hard to see when you guys are watching on a video or something, but when you're on a monitor, there's going to be some recoil. Like, on my screen, it's shaking just a little bit, but it's still pretty much a laser. And all I'm doing is just holding down and then keeping it steady. And you can do that with any gun. Just shoot at a wall and see the recoil pattern, and do the exact opposite of it to negate the whatever you call it, the recoil where there's none. And then if you can get this down, just beaming at a wall, it's so easy when shooting at enemies because you're gonna have aim assist, and it helps, and it's just way easier than when you have no aim assist and shooting at a wall. And all I'm doing is, guys, is every time I shoot, I'm just holding down that exact amount that I just did, and then I'm just keeping my hand steady. I'm holding it down like that, and then I'm just keeping my hand steady. It looks like this. And this is like the biggest part right here. It's just like, so I'm shooting right here, I pull it down to about right there, and then I just keep it steady. So that's how hard I'm pulling down. And like I said, this control freak helps a lot when you do that. And yeah, it just takes a lot of time and practice. But I've used this, since Black Ops 4 been out, so you're like, how you such good, aim and stuff. I mean, bro, I've used the same gun since year 1. I hope I have no recoil when I can be with it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've used this gun so much, I hope I would be decent with it. Look at all these specialists. But yeah, that's the main one right there. Is you can even beam with a default controller too. The main part is just having a monitor. I would say getting a control freak, using the same settings and getting used to them, shooting bots, and then just practice holding down and keeping your thumb steady with the mouse. That's the biggest thing, is just keeping your thumb steady. because the recoil goes up and you pull down to do that, and then when you keep your hand steady, that helps with the horizontal recoil. So let's get into some of the other tips. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys a real big secret that also helps with aim, and it kind of, well, there's like two parts to it. Basically, the first part is hitting your very first bullet on the enemy, and you can just test this yourself, you know, just like try shooting beside an enemy and then going on to him, and you're going to see the recoil's way harder to control if you do that. And because of that, what it is in this game for some reason, if you hit the enemy with your very first bullet and the very first shot, it makes controlling the recoil so much easier, and you're going to kill him so much faster. So whenever you're aiming, just try to hit him with the very first bullet like that, and it helps with the recoil control so much. You'll hear a lot of people say this too, and I don't know why it's like that, but just try to hit your very first bullet on the enemy, and it helps so much easier. And like I said, if you can test it by shooting to the side and then going on the enemy, I'm telling you, it's so hard to kill the enemy. I don't know why it's like that. I mean, you can still kind of beam like that, but you see, it's just not as effective, especially long ranges. You have to hit. That's the secret in long range too. It really is. If you can hit your first bullet on the guy long range, you can easily kill him pretty fast with the Maddox. That's probably the secret in long range battles too, is just hitting the very first bullet. Because if you're shooting to the side long range, let me see if I can do it. Hold on, where are these enemies? If you're shooting to the side and then you go on the person long range, it's going to make it so much harder to kill them. And if you get your very first bullet. So that's a very key tip. And killing fast, it helps with killing fast and just Maddox recoil control, just hitting your first shot. I got 2 tips that will help with that. So yeah, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first tip, and you'll see every pro doing this, and people are saying like, why are you playing so twitchy? So it's just how you play with the Maddox, is zoom in and out with the ADS. Now when I zoom in, people are like, how you do it so fast? Well, first of all, I use bumpers, so that help, but like I mentioned earlier, when you're playing on a monitor, everything, it moves slower, so it looks way faster than what you guys are seeing on the video. Or it's actually much slower than what you guys are seeing. So it actually doesn't look that fast on my screen. It's just when you guys watch it through a video, because the video isn't like a monitor, it looks so much quicker. I'm basically just spamming ADS, and what this does, guys, is it abuses the aim assist mechanic. You're gonna get a lot more aim assist when you do this. When you see someone, you'll easily be able to snap on them like that. And this just helps getting your very first bullet on the enemy. Because you're just abusing the aim assist. And what aim assist does is when you get closer to an enemy, it kind of sucks your aim towards them when you zoom in. So if you keep doing this over and over again, whenever you see an enemy, you're gonna instantly like warp onto them like that. And you can practice just, you know, going around the map walking and just spamming whenever the enemies are coming. And you're gonna see how much easier it is to shoot the people. And if you practice this and just getting your first shot on the enemy, you're gonna be melting the enemies. And it just helps with controlling the recoil as well, because when you hit your first shot, it's so much easier to aim. Yeah, that's the first tip. The second tip, which is a really big one too, and you'll see, this is why Dashi is so good too, is centering. And what centering is okay, you see like the 4 crosshairs on your screen, and what centering is where when you zoom in your gun, that's the middle of the center. You see that? In case you guys didn't know that. So to make aiming and stuff so easy on yourself, is you can even walk around the map and practice this without bots, but you want to keep the middle of your crosshairs, you know, where you aim in, where you think the enemies are going to be at. So this involves moving it when you slide and jump and everything. So basically you want to have it around chest high level, and you just want to like move it to where you think the enemies are going to be at. And you can just like walk around the map or slide when you do this. There's no enemies, but you can practice. And what this does is I'll see like a lot of people, you know, look at the floor, and what happens is when they see an enemy, they have to look up like that, and that costs them so much time, and that hurts their aim too. But if you're already, guys, looking where the enemy's going to be at, and all you have to do is zoom in, look how easy this is. Like, I didn't have to move anything. Like, if you just see the middle of my cursor, I'm just constantly moving to where I think the enemy's going to be at. And all you have to do is just zoom in with your gun when you see him. And this involves when you're sliding and jumping too, same thing. You don't want to be looking on the ground when you slide. When you slide, you want to move your crosshair around the corner where the enemy's going to be at, like that. And that's basically how you camera too. And yeah, if you're constantly just having perfect centering, and pros, they have this master, that's one of their key secrets. And you can just do this with no bots, or with bots just walk around the map. but every time you slide around the corner or when you're moving around the map, just always have the middle of your crosshairs where you zoom in on where the enemy's going to be at. And you want to have it around chest eye level. So all you have to do, guys, is when you see enemies, you just have to zoom in. But if that also comes where snapping comes into play, because sometimes you're not going to know where the enemies are, or if there's like a wide open area, you're going to have to like snap on enemies, and that's also a big key. If you can snap on enemies and hit your first shot, that helps a lot. And you can practice this just by not looking at an enemy and then quickly going to them like that. And if you have perfect centering and snapping, I mean, you can kill anyone. Because basically, you're going to, be centering up where you're going to kill enemies perfectly. And even when they're not on your crosshairs, you can quickly kill them like that. And it's to center, you just, you don't ADS and do to them. That's what keyboarders do. You have to like, zoom out and then quickly zoom onto them like that. You don't want to like drag your gun like that. And that's also kind of one thing too, like when you're spamming ADS. After you get a kill, like say there's another one close by, you want to kill him and then quickly zoom out and then go onto him like that to get the aim assist. You don't want to kill him and then drag over like that. That works for keyboards, but if you're on console, you can't do that. You have to zoom out and zoom back in to get the aim assist back. And basically, you just want to spam the ADS while you're moving around the map, or when you think enemies are going to be around the corner. Just spam it like that, and then you want to slide and jump and move around the map and just have good centering. So just keep the middle of your crosshairs where you think the enemies are going to be at. You just move it around the corner like that. You see how easy that kill was? Right there. Like, I'm already aiming at the person. It makes it so much easier than if you're like looking at the floor, then you have to move up like that, I mean, that's why I see some people, there's just like move like that. But if you're already like, basically too, a lot of people just have it low, so just always keep your crosshairs up. Like, try to always remember to keep them up. Or one thing too is just think of it as if you're gonna try to hip fire everybody. So if you hip fire someone, you have to be right on them like that. So just to think when you're running around the map, I guess just think you're gonna hip fire someone, and that reminds you to keep your crosshairs up. And you see how easy that was? I mean, I died. But like, if you guys have perfect centering and just practice it, I'm telling you, centering and hitting your first shot is key to having good recoil control. Just how the aim assist is in this game. So that's one of like the two biggest things that I would say is just doing that. And then like I said, if you can just do that and then just master the Maddox recoil, that's really all it is, guys. It's really not that hard to aim good in this game. A lot of people think like you try to overcomplicate it. It's really not that bad. And if any of this confuses you, basically just shoot a lot of bots and you'll eventually get your aim better. I'm telling you, there's no way that your aim doesn't get better by just shooting a lot of bots like this. And yeah, we got 2 more tips, so let's get right into it.